Going live? Hello?
Hi,
Did we make it?
we are live. How's it going?
Oh my goodness. Look at us go.
Look at us go. Wow, look at us go. Can you see it? We are going. We are going. All right. Welcome
We are
to
zooming.
we are exactly that's what I was referencing. We are zooming. I love that guy. Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean. What an awesome guy.
Hey guys, welcome to Free for All Friday. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, let's have fun. This is
I'm
a
changing
show
the name,
where we
though.
just kind of have fun. It's really what we do. What
I'm
do you
going to change
the
the name. Mandatory for all Friday.
Yes, mandatory for all Friday because we're the only ones that showed up.
Right.
Jesse is in the background helping us still. But
Yes.
other than that, it's just Joe and I. So
Right. So it's like Don't Worry Wednesday again.
yeah, it's basically, hey, don't worry, don't welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. Instead, we've got unmandatory Friday. Sorry, unmandatory Friday. Yeah, let's change the name to it, right? Because
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, free for all. Apparently, people don't want a free for all. So
right, they're like, well, I can't come to that one. I won't come to that one.
I guess if it's not mandatory, I won't make it.
Right. So that's okay. But I do have to say, this is a show, like Ryan was saying, we just try to have a good time, hang out, and we usually pick some stuff to argue about that doesn't really matter because it's fun. And although I think probably, last time we assigned, a position to people, I think we ought to actually let people express their own opinions. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think we could try it. I think we might agree on a lot of things, though.
Right. Well, we're going to have to go through and we're going to have to find some stuff that we actually disagree on.
Yeah, that'll be difficult, but hey, we could find it. It exists.
So, yeah. So I came up with a whole big, huge list. And if there's anything you guys want to hear, if there's anything you want to hear us argue about, like which is better, I have cake versus pie. Like, what's better, cake versus pie? I know one that we probably would disagree on is Minecraft versus Dungeons and Dragons.
Probably.
Because, well, at least I play more Minecraft than Dungeons and Dragons. And you probably play more D&D than than Minecraft.
That's true.
We would agree on Android versus Apple.
Yeah, we would agree on there. Do you like pie more than cake?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we're in agreement there.
We agree on that. Rolls versus biscuits.
What versus biscuits?
Rolls.
I'm not partial at all.
Really?
Yeah, they're both good. They both have their place.
They both do?
Yeah. I think that biscuits tend to be have more of a place, but rolls are good too. The thing about rolls is biscuits are pretty much always biscuits. Rolls can become many different styles of bread. So they have their place still.
Caleb says cake.
Caleb, you like cake? Oh, cheesecake. Cheesecake is a hard one to argue with.
Jesse.
Because it's like a pie.
That wasn't an option. That's like a pie.
Cheesecake is an honorary pie. Come on. It's not even a cake. Like, where's the bread? See? There's not even flour in it,
Yep. Oh, here's a good one. Lactose intolerant.
Bummer.
Me too. I just actually learned this like a couple weeks ago. I finally pinpointed this issue that I was having. I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually lactose intolerance. So now I'm cutting out all dairy and I feel way better.
Oh yeah? That's good. Yeah. I have a slight lactose intolerance. I have a very specific intolerance. It doesn't make sense to anybody. Let me explain it to you because it won't make sense to you either. Check this out. Okay. I have an intolerance with milk and cereal. If I put milk on my cereal, I'll get my stomach will ache and I'll be really gassy, right? However, If I drink a whole cup of milk, more than I would even put in my bowl, no problem. Eat cheese, eat ice cream, eat anything. Eat yogurt with cereal, fine. But as soon as I put cereal, any kind of cereal, and milk together, my stomach hates me. It doesn't make
Really?
sense. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing ever.
That's very, very specific.
Yeah, isn't it? I can't figure out why that is a thing. Like I can totally drink a glass of milk and have no problem, but if I put cereal in my glass of milk, which whatever, yeah, problems. Doesn't make sense. Does anyone else have something weird like that?
I don't know. I've found anytime dairy, I just have gut problems.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, apparently everyone will eventually become lactose intolerant by the time they reach like 90.
Well, it's weird. It's weird because I was actually talking to my brother about this. He learned the science around that, and so lactose, nobody can process lactose. Right. Our bodies can't use lactose.
We're not supposed to.
Right.
Really.
And but our body has lactase.
Okay.
And the rate at which our body produces lactase, it will break down the lactose into glucose and whatever the things that our body can actually use. So so that's why, like, you look at the lactate pills and stuff like that, for people who have lactose intolerance, all that is basically just lactase.
Maybe that's why. Maybe when the cereal has milk absorbed into it, there's all those fibers, and so the lactase can't get at the milk. Because it's bound to the fibers, and so it's unable to process all of it. That might be it.
That could be. You need to eat sugary cereal that doesn't absorb milk.
Yeah.
The kind that's all glazed with stuff, you're probably eating like bran buds and like
I like every kind of cereal, but I found myself I really like granolas and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. I like that. It's like adult cereal, but I'm a kid at heart. I can like it.
All right.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah. Welcome, Daggerstorm.
Yo.
And that pear kid. I don't think I've seen that pear kid before.
No,
welcome.
Yeah, I think this is my first time seeing them as well. It's nice to have you.
So yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of stuff. I sat there as I was driving around doing inspections today. I came up with a list of probably 50 or 70 different things that we could
wow,
like
that's
different
incredible.
Things that verse each other.
Okay, so can you name some so we can like get on with it? It'll be fun. Sure.
Here's one. So like, okay, so you're roasting marshmallows. Burnt to a crisp or golden brown?
Personally, golden brown and a little bit of crispy is all right, but hopefully golden brown. Do you like it crispy?
Like it burnt? I wholeheartedly disagree with you. I think the best way to roast a marshmallow is you shove that puppy down in the middle of the fire and you let it become a torch, and then you go and then you watch it. It just burns.
Burnt.
And there's fire all around it, man. And then you blow it out. And then you got to be real careful because, well, actually, what you can do is if you do it right, you can take the outer layer of the burnt stuff off and eat that. And then you can shove the rest of it back.
You can do it again. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, you get to pull that chart outside. It's gooey inside. That pear kid says, no, golden brown is the best. Most of my family members are of that ilk. They like the golden brown.
Here's why I like the golden brown. 2 reasons. 1, it's more satisfying because it takes and requires skill and time and patience, right? It requires patience, timing, skill, because you have to figure out how close to the fire am I supposed to get. I like that aspect of it because it makes you feel like you're actually cooking, although I can appreciate the idea of just like nice and easy done, I get it. But other thing is I like the taste more. The taste of it being golden brown is better because it pulls out the sugars more. So if you burn it, what you end up doing is you separate the sugars and the carbons. And so what you end up doing is you have all of this carbon taste to it, which is fine.
Yeah, which
But if you brown
ashes
it,
in your mouth. It's great.
yeah, if you brown it, you pull out just the you brown the sugars, so you caramelize the sugars on the outside, so you're like eating caramel instead of carbon.
Hmm.
And you can still do that thing where you pull it off, just the edges, and you can still do that with a golden brown one. And I've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
It is
I
fun.
will
I
I
like
will have
that.
to say there is a drawback to the burnt marshmallow, and that is that they're usually a little bit messier.
Yeah, they are. Well,
Because they're a little bit runnier.
depends. They are a little bit runnier. It depends though. If you, because sometimes you just lose your marshmallow in the fire before you can get it brown. So
That's true. You ever watch it start to sag, and then you gotta
yeah,
like turn your fork thing over. Oh
yeah.
no, no, it's gonna fall.
Oh no. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you do have a lot of more time for error.
Your dad taught you the best way to brown a marshmallow, and it's the best. How do you brown a marshmallow the best? What's the technique?
That's a good question. And that parakeet I see that you posted up there, I'm excited for when I receive my detective plush. If you just ordered that like yesterday, then that plush got dropped off at the post office today. So it is on its way to you.
Nice.
So,
That's great. Also, Turtle, I love you. Um, Congratulations on your box. You got a box named Box.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
you
great.
also will get one that parakeet.
Mm-hmm.
A box
A box.
with this guy in there.
Oh, who's that? I got one over here.
Look at that.
Huh. Weird.
That parakeet says if you look for coals that are hot, you'll find the best places.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah, when you
you don't
brown up.
look for the flames. You look for where the coals are glowing.
Yeah, it is kind of different because when you do like when you burn a Pop Tart, or sorry, when you burn a
A Pop
marshmallow.
Tart.
Yeah. I usually just like stick. Um, people bring marshmallows. I bring a pack of Pop Tarts and I toast them on the fire.
Uh-huh.
Brilliant idea. Um, no. If you're gonna burn it, you just stick it right into the flames. But if you're gonna brown it, yeah, it takes time. I think the coal method is a good way to go.
Mhm.
The really red hot coals, you just stick them right next to it. Sometimes it will just catch fire next to the coals. Nothing else is
Mhm.
on fire. It's pretty cool. It's like, whoa, not that that's a good thing to happen, but it's just like amazing that there's not even next to a flame and they can just burst into flame.
Mhm. Yep, it just gets hot enough and then all of a sudden
Yeah,
and
it's
then
cool.
people it's always so funny when you see a person who likes the golden brown marshmallows like when they accidentally catch their marshmallow on fire.
Ah,
And then they're like,
it's
Joe, do
all
you want this
gooey.
one?
Yeah, you
Yep.
want this one?
I don't want it yet. Stick it back in there and catch it
Stick it
on
back
fire.
in. It's not burning up. Yeah.
Yes. Royal, we're currently talking about which is better when you're roasting marshmallows, burnt or golden brown. If you want to weigh in your opinion, we already know the correct answer. Oh, by the way, I do need the legal department needed to step in and say, all views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of Black Static and Swerve.
Oh, yeah, that's necessary to be said here. Great. That's funny, dude.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Princess. Hey, Princess. What also funny? The person who lights their marshmallow on fire. That's me.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
the
he likes to
best
do.
way. You just take it. See, Princess. She likes the golden just like you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people like a golden brown, but at the same time, it's so much easier to do the burnt.
It
So
is.
I can see the joy in that. There's also a joy in setting things on fire. But like I said, there's also a joy that comes from the satisfaction of a job well done,
Mm-hmm.
um, taking your time and being patient with it.
Have you ever seen those marshmallows that are they call them s'more sized marshmallows and they're like big
Square, like
square
rectangles.
marshmallows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not rectangles, but they like skinny, but they're
They're
square.
flat and yeah. Have you
Yeah,
seen those?
yeah. No.
have you ever had those?
Have you seen those? No, I just made that up. I have had
Have you,
one. I
did you roast it and put it on a s'more?
um yes, and it wasn't the right size.
Yeah, they're way too big.
They're way too big.
Like
Yeah.
they like you put them on there and just like there's marshmallow everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
I don't care for them because yeah, because you can I don't know. I think they expect it to like just get warm. Maybe if you no, maybe if you just don't even get them brown. I think that's what you have to do with them so they retain their shape. Because otherwise, as soon as you put them on there, they just sink and fold over the edges into a mess.
yeah. You know what? Actually, those might go good in. Have you ever had oven s'mores?
No, that makes sense though. I could see that
Mm-hmm.
working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You end up with a cookie sheet full of like perfect s'mores.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It's not quite as fun as, roasting over the fire, catching them on fire, doing all that kind of fun stuff.
Uh
And
huh.
when you like the golden brown and you catch it on fire by accident and like, hey, do you want this one? You don't get all that
Yeah.
fun.
Right. Yeah. You don't get the fun of okay. Now give me your stick. All right. Hold on. No. Okay. No. Hold your stick the other way. Okay. No. What? What are you doing? Okay. Hold on. No. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. All right. There you go.
And then you
Oh.
finally get it.
Oh. It all just fell out. All right. I'm sorry. Here you go. Here's your chocolate with a little bit of and there's a couple of crumbs of graham cracker on there too. So you don't get all of that excitement.
Right, yes. But you do get really good s'mores. And
But yeah,
yes,
that's great.
you're absolutely right. That pear is the perfect size for a s'more. When it's raw, yes,
Yes, when
exactly.
it's
But
raw,
then
that's
when
kind
you
of yeah.
but who eats a s'more with a raw marshmallow?
I don't think
Have you
anybody
ever had
wants to do
that?
that. No.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I've had it.
I'm gonna
It's not as
try.
good. I have had it, but it's not as good.
Hmm,
How did we meet?
that's a good question.
Cliff
How did
Runner.
we
Cliff
meet?
Runner Music wants to know how we met.
We met many, many years ago. This
Right
is
here in
very
this chat, you
interesting.
and I, Cliff.
Huh?
In this chat, Cliff and I met in this chat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, me and Cliff right here. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think he's asking how you and I met.
Oh. Yeah, no, obviously. Yeah.
Seft has never even had s'mores. That's amazing.
There are a lot of places in the world where you can't even have a campfire. So that might be why,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
That's true.
I know when I lived in Colorado, if you wanted a campfire, you had to go to a certain area. Like you weren't allowed to do it in your backyard like you are here in Michigan.
Mm.
You had to like legalize it and everything, especially
Ah,
dependent upon the time of year. Certain parts of the year they were like, yeah, it's a dry season, you're not allowed to. Certain parts of the year they said, yeah, it's okay, go for it. But
yeah.
yeah, they had
Out
no
fire
campfire
bans
zones.
in the outback
Yeah.
Australia. Yeah, it's very dry. I can imagine they would have fire bans. You keep on
Yeah, fire bans in
a.
Australia. That totally makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's smart,
See, now in
really.
Michigan, we live in a swamp surrounded by lakes. Like, so.
It's not really a swamp, but yeah, kind of like one. Actually, we know we're not a swamp because we have the most basements of any
Do we really?
like area. Yeah, it's surprising. It surprised me a lot. If you I don't know if we have the most basements, but if you go around the world, like Michigan tends to have more basements than any other place, especially outside of the US even. A lot of places outside of the US don't even have a basement.
Then you know what else I bet they
Michigan
have a
has
bunch
basements
of?
though.
Sump pumps.
What? Salt pumps. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
They got lots of those. Actually, it was funny. Like when Michigan was first, when people started coming here, it was like a swamp. At least
See,
lower
Caleb?
Michigan was. And then what they ended up doing was they
Oh,
dug a
sure.
whole bunch of ditches and, little things, like people actually
Oh, is that why?
dug it
Okay.
out so the water would drain and they would have fields, because that, you know, a swampland can be very, very fertile if it's drained.
Mhm.
So that's pretty cool.
You know, that's awesome. And I love that you told me that because you know the story I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
um Cloud Glass or Cloud Witness Theater.
Mm-hmm.
The main town focuses on living in a swamp. So that's actually really cool to learn that because that's going to help me with their development of their land because it's kind of an interesting thing to be able to live in a swamp. It's all muddy and you can't build a building on anything, you know, very easy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
And it's kind of
they
funny.
sure love their cattails. They get to eat a lot of cattails.
Oh yeah, I've never had a
And
cattail. I've heard they
what are
are
those called?
edible though.
Yeah, every single part of them is edible, and at certain parts of the year they taste different. Um, but yeah, what are those water chestnuts? Water chestnuts grow in swamps.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah, water chestnuts they grow in the like you have to dig down into the mud and pull them out. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
They're one of my
So
favorite
water
vegetables.
chestnuts it's not just a catchy name. They are actually from down in the water.
From down in the water, yeah.
Yeah. Like it was kind of like in the rice, like the rice paddies are kind of like
Uh-huh.
swamps too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, because that's the
Because you
best way
find
to grow them
because
fertile.
water, I always find water chestnuts in Chinese food and
Yeah,
rice, right?
right. Although you can grow rice where it's dry too. They don't always have to
Oh,
grow in
you
swamps.
can?
However, water chestnuts have to grow in swamps. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So back to Cliff's question. How did we meet?
Oh, we met basically through Ryan's brother Kyle. I met Kyle first, and he and I got into business together, and we started running after some stuff. And I actually met Ryan through just hanging out with Kyle and doing meetings and all that kind of stuff with him. And so when Ryan was, how old were you? Were you 16?
Yes, I think I was 16.
16? Okay.
Yeah, that would have been right. 16, 17,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle was in first year of college. So yeah, 18. Kyle was 18, I was 16.
He was going back for his second year
He
of
just finished
college.
his first semester. Yes, but my birthday is in August, so I was still 16.
Okay. Gotcha. No, you might have been 17 then.
I went to school a year early.
Okay. I don't know. Either way, that's how we met.
I was either 16 or 17.
And then yeah, so I actually met Ryan in person. I remember seeing him and he was sitting across the room and he didn't really say much of anything to me for a long time. And that's okay.
I was pretty shy.
But
Yeah.
there was all kinds of other stuff going on, and he was a little too young to be involved anyway. And so then but then got to know him and got to hear about his music. And if you get the book, you will actually hear my first experience with Ryan's music, and then from there
I
it
love that
was
you wrote
like,
that in there.
oh really? I like that too.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's the afterword in the book. If you have the book, read the afterword. That's basically, Ryan and I had already known each other for a while. We'd started to, get to be friends and stuff like that. And then there was this one day where he actually, he drove over. We lived like an hour apart. And he drove over to the town where I lived in and where I worked in, and we sat in the parking lot of where my job was. I worked in a music store, and we sat in my car, and it was snowing, and like because that's what it does in northern Michigan. um, it's just
Yeah,
all the time. But he put in a
all the
CD
time.
of some of his stuff, and or was it, did you
It
put
might
it
have been
in
on
the
a
CD,
MP3
or
player
was
or
it
like little
okay?
mini MP3 player.
Yeah, I think that was probably it. But yeah, so anyway, he played it to me, and I was just like, wow, this dude's got some skill. So like,
It was
then,
really bad.
well, the
No, the
quality,
music wasn't bad. It was the
it
quality
was
was terrible.
unpolished. Yes, it was very unpolished, but all the elements of tremendous songwriting were there, and it was just glorious. So I was like, wow, this is really really cool. So then I've been super excited to work with him for a long time. But Cliff Runner, you said you met Static through Discord. It was a very wholesome experience. Yeah, it usually is. Meeting Ryan is a
Yeah.
wholesome experience. And you're
Aw,
absolutely
thanks,
right.
guys. Turtle,
You
when
are
were you in the
absolutely right.
Philippines and why? I didn't even know you went to the Philippines. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Oh, Turtle Dude went to the Philippines.
I went to the
I didn't realize that.
Philippines. I went to mass in the Philippines.
Yeah, you did.
I live streamed it.
Online. Yeah.
Because it was like, hey, it was cool. The Sunday morning mass was in the middle of the night. And I was like, hey,
Oh,
look at this. Boom.
yeah, Cliff Runner. I didn't know who you were. Okay, you're Toby. That totally makes sense now. Yeah, Toby's awesome. He's a wholesome person as well. So
Nice. We
great
got
to
all kinds of
great
wholesome.
great person to chat with.
This is the place for wholesome people.
It really is. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So, do we
Speaking
have
of
another
wholesome
topic
things,
we can run
we
with?
certainly do. We were talking about marshmallows. I think we kind of exhausted that one. Burnt is better. Um,
What?
but
Nope.
okay, well we can continue on the food one. And
Mm-hmm.
here's one. So I thought, sushi. How many of you guys in the chat have had sushi or like sushi? I know Ryan, you like sushi, right?
Yeah, I like sushi.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it wrong though.
I am.
Yeah.
You're
No, I'm
right.
just kidding. You're saying it right. You're saying it right, but you have an American accent. That's normal.
Oh, yes. Sushi is great. So here's the thing. If you're eating sushi, which do you prefer? Tuna or salmon? Tuna is the darker one.
Question.
Salmon is the lighter oranger one, right?
Question.
Yeah.
Have you had tuna from a highfalutin, real, fresh, expensive Japanese
Fish place?
restaurant
Not from a Japanese
or fish
restaurant, but
place?
I have had raw tuna. It wasn't in a sushi. It was just on a plate.
Oh, okay.
And as at this place called it was at a really high-end fish place, like higher end than like a Red Lobster. It was like this really
And was it taken from the
classy
fatty part
place.
of the fish?
I don't
Like,
know.
here's a question. When you put it in your mouth, did it have a texture that you've probably never really experienced before other than like really, really fatty meats?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it
It
put
was
it, you put it in your
glorious.
mouth
It
and
was
it just
wonderful.
melted.
Yeah, it
It
was
just
glorious.
melted.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go with tuna because of
Tuna.
that.
I
Yeah.
I actually agree. I think tuna is the best. Salmon's pretty good. Seft says salmon. Dagger Sword says salmon. Um, and that Parakeet says sushi. Royal says I never had sushi. Want to eat it someday? It's good. You
It's
get some
good.
soy sauce. You get a little bit of. I always I like wasabi.
Me too. I
I
like
like
wasabi.
a little pinch of the wasabi.
Wasabi.
Just in there. Ooh, that's so good. Um, yeah, but okay. Well, we can't disagree on
Yeah,
that
we
one.
we have to agree with that one because I really, but the thing is, like, if you get it from like if you get tuna and it doesn't melt in your mouth, then I think I would prefer the salmon
Mhm.
because it's like, okay, this is just, you know, we're doing it. I guess it's not an experience. That's what makes tuna so cool is that it's a beautiful experience if it's the good stuff.
Can we mute the owner of the channel?
Yuck. He says,
That
"Can
would
we
be
mute?"
Jesse. Jesse's
Yeah.
producing us.
Can we mute the producer, please? This just in. You're muted. Um,
This is where we say the views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of
yeah,
Black
yeah,
Tiger
yeah,
Swerve.
yeah.
Band Monster said I must have had the bad tuna. That's a bummer. Um,
Yeah, that's the thing. If you go to if you try to find tuna, most of the time it's not going to be the one that melts in your mouth. Um,
mhm,
you, yeah, it's hard to find it. You have to go to like a really good place.
mhm.
Um, where they take pride, like severe, like over the top kind of pride in their work. If you go to a place like that, they're gonna have the sushi that has the or the sashimi or
Sashimi.
whatever
Yes.
that
That
has
also
the
is good.
real, yeah, the real tuna.
Mhm.
Not that the other tuna is fake. It's just it's a different cut And for the high restaurants, they pay for the higher cut, and the cut comes from the belly, I believe. So it's like kind of, it's just a whole different experience.
It gets interesting. Like, so as you progress through, because I remember starting eating sushi, and I
Mm-hmm.
always started with the fake crab meat in the roll, the California rolls and stuff like
I
that, which those are good.
I like the fake crab meat. It's good.
Hmm. It is good. But it's very interesting, as you progress and you see some weird thing. I've never gotten myself to eat octopus that I could tell was octopus with the
Okay.
with the actual like suction cup tentacle things there.
Yeah.
I've not gotten myself to eat that yet. Um,
I recently got the chance on my birthday. Kyle brought over an octopus, and we had octopus. So it was the first time I
really,
ate octopus. Yeah,
was it good?
we had what is it? Yakitori? No, that's not the right word. Um, takoyaki. That's what it is. Takoyaki we had.
Ah.
So it's octopus balls. It literally translates taco octopus yaki ball, takoyaki, and these little balls, and they were a lot of fun to make. They were more fun to make than they tasted. Good. They were great. They tasted fine, but
Well, you put enough soy sauce on anything, it'd probably be good.
yeah, of course. But yeah, they were a lot of fun to make. Um, but yeah, no, octopus is great. It has a flavor of its own, but it does remind me a bit of squid,
Mm-hmm.
as it would be expected. But it's not rubbery whatsoever, which is really nice.
Really?
Yeah, so you like when you sometimes when
You
you eat
kind of
squid,
expect that to be that way.
you'd
Is
expect
it
it to be
like,
tough and rubbery, but it's
yeah,
actually you just boil it and it comes out and it's just your teeth go right through it and there's no chewiness to it really.
hmm,
Yeah,
interesting.
it doesn't pull like meat. Meat is stringy. This is not stringy whatsoever.
Mm,
So it is a different kind of feeling. But
hmm.
yeah, have you guys had in the chat? Have you guys ever had octopus? Can you guys clarify?
Daggerstorm says, "What about calamari?" I've had calamari. That's
Hmm.
squid, right?
Yep.
It was when I had it. It was dried. Um, so it was a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, you had dried. I've never had dried calamari. I want to
Hmm.
try it.
It was pretty good. I
Yeah,
liked it, and I also had just plain dried seaweed, which was also good
nori. Yeah.
by itself.
Hmm.
But it's interesting because as I started trying sushi, I'd always eat the stuff that had a whole bunch of
Oh
different
yeah.
stuff in there, all packed in there and rolled up in rice and everything like that, right? And now it's different because now I look for just the little bit of rice with the salmon or the tuna just on top of it. And
Yeah.
that's normally what I go to now is just, I just want the fish with the rice, just plain.
Yeah,
And
I can actually I have to agree with you on that because the more you go with all the crazy extra stuff on top, it's almost like the less you taste
hmm,
and less you can appreciate it because there's so many different things going on.
yeah.
If you keep it simple, you can really delight in the couple of flavors that are there that work so well together.
Hmm.
Um, I'll have to agree with you. I think that's a smart move.
Hmm. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So awesome. Well, Turtle Dude said,
Have a good one.
Coke versus Pepsi. Yeah, see you later, Royal. Um,
Oh, Royal, we miss you. I believe on Don't Worry Wednesday.
oh yeah, you've got a topic in the queue. So come on
Yeah.
Wednesday sometime if you can.
Yeah, it'll be great.
We'll do your topic.
Uh-huh.
um, yeah. So Turtle Dude says Coke versus Pepsi.
Oh, we might agree on this. I like Coke.
Coke.
Yeah. Yeah,
Once
like I
the
said, we
answer,
agree on so
once
many
the
different
answer in
things.
the chat. I
Yeah,
mean
what do you guys
Pepsi.
like? Coke versus Pepsi?
That's tap water.
Tap
The answer
water.
to
Jeez. Yeah,
30
I'm not a
cans
big
of
fan of
Coke in 3 days? What?
wow. Wow. How did that's 10 cans a day. That's
10 cans
possible.
a
Dang,
day.
that's nuts.
That's a lot of Coke,
They were
man.
the small cans. They were like the itty bitty ones. Honestly, a caffeine is my blood. Oh, jeez. I'm not a big fan of pop anymore. I used to drink a lot of pop as a kid, but I don't drink it anymore. Not because I try to be healthy, just because I don't care for it as much.
Mm.
And it's not good for you, but that's not the main reason.
Yeah. But Coke is better. And not only because it tastes better, but because you can put a penny in there and it like kills it a penny
Yeah, that's
something.
good. That's
Like
good.
you can degrease your engines and stuff with it.
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh. It's good stuff. Um, yeah.
I don't
No, I
know if
think you
that's
can do the
actually
same thing
true.
with
Do
Pepsi.
not pour Coke onto your engine.
Yeah, do not do that ever. Hot
You
or
can
cold,
glaze
never.
steak with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my wife
I've
came
never had
across
it.
this recipe of a Coke roast.
How was it?
Oh, so good. So good. Oh my gosh. It's like, so it's roast beef, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
cooked and you just put Coke in there. And, and
Just
then
that
other,
easy.
yeah. And I don't know how much though.
You slow cook
Like
it?
you'd have to figure out. Yep. However long it takes a roast to cook at like 350 degrees in an oven.
Yeah. I'm a
And
big
yep.
fan of slow cook.
Yep. It's fantastic. And it just finds its way into every little bit of the roast, and it also
Mm-hmm.
tenderizes it.
Yeah, because it's really acidic.
And man, that is so good. The Coke roast is so good.
Yeah, I'd like to try that.
hmm hmm
Interesting.
Yep, and I'm sure it would be great on a steak too. It just gets so soft. Yeah. Yep. It's good. Root beer can be good for roasting chicken. That sounds interesting.
That pear kid says it sounds weird saying it because now it sounds like, hey, you know that kid named Pear? Anyways, and I'm calling you a kid, and I don't know. Anyway, okay. Coke actually was made to be syrup to reduce nausea, but they somehow ended up carbonating it and turning it into a popular drink. Yes, I think that's super awesome. A lot of things kind of did that. So when they developed the process of carbonation, they used to do it with chalk. You know, like chalk you'd write on the
Mm.
board.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
take that chalk and they would basically run it through some chemicals. It would smoke up, and then smoke would go up through a filter and down, and then whatever, and it would ultimately carbonate the drink.
Mhm.
It would provide like health benefits, usually ones of like calming your stomach. It would provide like a calming agent to your stomach because of the process, because of the little pieces of chalk that were in it through the
Oh,
natural
yeah.
process.
Uh-huh.
However, they created new ways of carbonating drinks with just straight CO2.
Mhm.
And so now there are no medicinal properties to any of the drinks that exist today anymore. Um,
Mhm.
People in Michigan love Vernors, and you always drink Vernors when you're sick.
Mhm.
Vernors is a ginger ale, but it's a specific kind of ginger ale. It tastes different than if you go out and you try to find a ginger ale, because they all taste different. And this one tastes
Mhm.
particularly, it's sweet and it's easy. It goes down easy. But anyways, back in the day, it was actually really good for your stomach. Now they don't use the same process anymore, so it's not really beneficial.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
That's
you
like
used to be able to go
Alka-Seltzer. They
to.
they used to make pop with like the Alka-Seltzer method, because
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
Alka-Seltzer is. You drop those
right,
things in there, and
right,
it's
exactly.
the carbonate. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Seth says they use a carbonate, which is why they call carbonated drinks. Now they just pump
exactly.
CO2 in there, I think.
Yeah, they just pump it in, and then they pressurize it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that causes it to seep and fuse and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that's interesting is you used to be able to go to the pharmacist, and they would have carbonated beverages on tap. And
Mm.
so when you go into your pharmaceutical like structure, like what we have today is like Rite Aid and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be things like that. You'd walk into and they'd have a bar there, and you could order carbonated beverages there, um, which was
Mm.
pretty cool. That was back in my mom's day, but they don't have that around anymore.
No. No, they don't. But they do have the fridge with all the Coke and
Yeah, they do.
Pepsi
You
and
can
everything. You can get it at the drugstore. You can still
you can
get
still
it.
get it at the drugstore. You're right.
It just doesn't have any medicinal properties. So
Yeah.
then, okay, so along this vein, then, if we're gonna agree on Coke,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine, it looks like a lot of people agree on Coke. I didn't see anybody say Pepsi.
Mm.
I saw people saying tap water and neither, but
No,
I
one
didn't
person
see
said
anybody.
Pepsi because they said No, that was Coke. What was it? 30 cans in 10 days? Was that Pepsi or Coke?
That was Coke.
Oh, okay. There.
Yeah. Oh, Cliff Runner music. I prefer Pepsi.
Oh, Pepsi.
Oh,
Princess
Princess.
prefers
Okay,
Pepsi too.
see, no, there you go. Okay. Yes, Coke used in pot roast. Pork roast is good. Yeah, it's good in
Mm.
beef roast too. Um, so we've got okay. So we do have some Pepsi people. Welcome, Pepsi people.
I used to know a kid that
Pepsi,
was addicted to Pepsi.
Pepsi, and Jesse's Pepsi. See, the views expressed do not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily reflect the views of Black Static and
Mm-hmm.
Swerve. Even though it says Black Static and Swerve next to it.
Turtle Dude's related to the creators of Coke. That's
Really?
pretty awesome, dude.
Well, so that's from you're from down south, like Georgia, right? I think. Is that right? That's
Georgia,
where I remember going to Atlanta
Georgia.
where all the Coca-Cola stuff is.
Oh yeah.
Down in Atlanta,
Well, down
Georgia.
in Texas, they don't even have Pepsi. They're like, hey, can you get me a Coke? Yeah, what kind of Coke do you want? Mountain Dew.
Yep,
Sorry, what?
They call it all Coke.
They call it
No,
all Coke.
yeah, down south, it's funny. Like it's weird. Up here, we call it pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we call it pop. In Canada, they call it pop too.
Uh-huh. And
Um,
there are other places soda. Yeah, that
yep,
pear kid.
soda.
We just call them soda. So yes, those are soda.
I usually use soda pop. If I'm talking
Soda
to somebody
pop.
that's outside of Michigan, I say soda pop because then I get to be on both sides of the fence.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting how all these things we just call it a drink. Sugar
Yeah.
pop, sunshine.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a song for you.
So then here's a question. Bottle or can? If you're gonna drink a Coke or a Pepsi, bottle or can? Can, we got some cans coming in. Oh, bottle all day. Now, I should specify glass bottle.
Okay, bottle. If you're
Mm-hmm.
saying glass bottle, bottle.
Mm-hmm. Glass bottle.
Yeah, I would say even if it's plastic, I would rather bottle only because you can reseal it and that's easier to carry around with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a slow drinker. If I get a can of anything, it'll probably be uncarbonated by the time I finish it, even if it's not a big can. Um, so
Even if it's one of the little,
yeah,
like
it's a
eight
little one.
ounces.
Yeah, the tiny ones, and then I open it, and then by the time I'm done, it's just like it's still, yeah, because I'm a super slow drinker with anything.
Mm-hmm.
I sip
That's good that way.
glass
I,
bottles. Those are great.
you don't see them as much anymore, but I remember, like if you can get pop in a glass bottle or soda
Hmm.
or Coke, whatever you want
Yeah,
to
or
call
soda
it.
pop or
Yes.
carbonated beverage.
Fago. Those of you
Fago.
if
Could you imagine if we called all soda pop Fago?
Fago.
So weird. You know Jones? Have you ever had
Jones.
Jones soda?
Yes. Yes, I have. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
That'd be weird if we called everything Jones. Hey, you want any Jones? Yeah,
What
what
kind
kind
of
of
what kind of Jones you want?
Pepsi
Sprite.
Jones? Sprite Jones Sprite. Um, anyways,
Yes, they're especially fun to shatter in easily collectible areas.
yeah,
It
with sledgehammers and
is a satisfying sound.
yeah, that is.
It's not satisfying when you're at a restaurant
Mm,
and you hear it like in the back.
yeah, yeah. That just makes you feel so bad
Yeah,
when you
those
hear them
are
in the back
good.
and you're like,
Ah,
oh
yeah,
no,
because
oof,
usually there's lots of them. You just hear.
yeah. I broke a few plates at a restaurant before.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was a dishwasher and I was so used to washing dishes at Taco Bell before I worked at this place.
Hmm.
So when I worked at Taco Bell, all of the pans are made out of metal and all the
Hmm.
spoons are made out of metal. Everything's made out of metal and plastic. And so I'm just like, I'm throwing it from the soap area to the sanitizer into the sanitizer water. And I'm just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to this restaurant and I'm washing dishes and they're like, holy crap, dude, you're so fast, slow down. And then we were like pulling them out and I'm like, oops, I chipped this one. Oops, I chipped this one too. Oop, there's like 4 of them. Yeah, I'm sorry. um, but yeah, that wasn't good.
Nope.
They got rid of the 7-layer burrito? Huh. That's been around for a
That's
long time,
weird.
that one.
Yeah, that's good. I
Yeah.
like
Taco Bell
the
has actually a lot of
7-layer.
great things.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. All right. So have we gotten to the end of the Coke versus Pepsi?
It looks like we did.
All right. So
What's your favorite fast food area to go to? I never go to fast food. I don't care for it much, but
whoa.
if you have
Now,
to,
are we going to? Okay. So like
nothing's out of the picture.
nothing's out of the. Oh my gosh. Okay. Define fast food. Does it have to have a drive-through window?
Hmm. Let's say yes to narrow it.
Has to have a drive-through window.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff Runner says Five Guys. Isn't that an eat-in place? I don't know if that's fast food.
Five Guys is quick, but I don't know if you can. Yeah, no, you can order at the window.
You can?
I think I've seen a Five Guys where you can order drive through. I think when I was out in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's gonna
you'll
have
have
to
to
be
tell
a.
me, Toby.
Oh, I forgot about Chick-fil-A. We just started getting Chick-fil-A's up here, and they're good.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. It's great.
Chick-fil-A is good. But you know what? Honestly, this is gonna be a weird thing. It's a toss-up for me between Arby's
Uh-huh.
and Fazoli's, and I don't even like Italian.
Fazoli's. That's surprising. I've never really even heard anyone say they really liked Fazoli's.
There's one thing I like at Fazoli's:
Okay. Fazoli's good.
the breadsticks.
Oh, the breadsticks.
The breadsticks are so good. Like I don't like spaghetti because I don't I'm not a big fan of marinara sauce. So I don't like, so most of the things in an Italian restaurant come with marinara sauce
Yeah,
since I
yeah.
don't like it, you know. So, but those breadsticks, man,
They're so
those
good,
are
huh?
so good.
So you said Fazoli's and Arby's?
Yeah, and Arby's because of
All the meat you can get.
something you have to ask for and they never have them. They always have to cook them.
Okay.
The potato cakes.
Potato cakes? I've never had them.
Yes.
They're
You have the option of curly fries, straight fries, or potato cakes. Now, potato cakes, you actually have to, it's kind of like this inside scoop. Like, you got to ask for them.
Okay.
They don't ever have them prepared because hardly anybody ever asks for them.
All right.
But they're like, they're triangular shaped. And they're big. They're like this big. And they're
Okay.
thick.
Are
And
they
you
like a
get
hash brown?
Yeah, it's like a hash brown, and you get like 3 of these big, huge potato cakes in the thing, right? Instead of fries.
Are they like potato pancakes?
No,
No.
they're like a really thick hash brown.
They're like a really thick hash brown. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, they're
See,
so good.
I do like Arby's. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but Arby's has 3 things I really like. 1, the curly fries are great. 2, jalapeno poppers. Those peppers with the cream cheese stuffed in them, and then they're breaded. Probably the best thing you can order at a fast food place ever. I love those. And 3, I don't even know where to find on the menu or what it's called, but they make this chicken salad sandwich, and it's got grapes in it. It's like chicken salads with grapes and some nuts, and it's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
This is Arby's?
It might even have some apple slices in it too. Yeah, at Arby's. It's great.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the best sandwiches you can order there.
I always
But you
usually
don't.
just get the beef and cheddar, man, because it's got the cheese slopped
Yeah.
on there with the Arby's sauce. The Arby's sauce is so good.
The
And
Arby's
then you
sauce
can
actually is good.
throw a little horsey sauce under there.
Oh, I like horsey sauce. Put horsey sauce on any sandwich. I love it. Okay, so you got a good point with Arby's. I'm gonna have to give that to you. Other than that, Wendy's. I like Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. I like that you can go to Wendy's and you get a root beer float, if you want. And they have good desserts there, but mostly I just really like the spicy chicken sandwich. And if anyone ever asks me like, hey, what kind of fast food do we want to get, and I look and I'm like, oh, there's a Wendy's, let's go to Wendy's because spicy chicken sandwich is a solid. I always like it every time.
Mm.
But then again, Taco Bell has a lot of good stuff. Taco Bell's not a bad choice either.
No, Taco Bell is very, very good. And in fact, I've got two kids, and it's funny. Like anytime we would have a thing after school to go
Mhm.
to, and we had to quick go someplace to eat, there we'd always have one kid would want Taco Bell, and one kid would want Subway. And it's
Oh,
because they're the only two options on the road before you get to the highway from the
okay.
school to the highway. Like there's a Subway and a gas station, and then there's a Taco Bell next door. And so it's
Mm,
like one kid likes Taco Bell, the other kid wants a Subway, right? And
yeah,
so we always, and so it's funny, like, so my wife will be like, "What do you want?" And I'll be like, "Okay, well, so we'll divide and conquer. I'll take the one kid to Taco Bell, and she'll take the other kid to Subway."
yeah.
And so she's like, "Do you want something from Subway?" I'm like, "Yes, I'll just have a 6 inch, chicken, blah 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 blah, white bread with whatever, all the different
All
stuff
the
I can put
amenities.
on there, right?
Hmm.
All the vegetables except for onions, black olives, and jalapeno peppers. But
Oh, okay.
every other, and I always tell them that too. When I order the Subway, I'm always like, I want everything except this, and this. Because if you just start telling them I want lettuce, and then
Yeah.
you wait for them to put the lettuce on, and then tomato, and then you wait
Tomatoes.
for them to put, what they're gonna do is they're gonna like pile everything on there so tall that they can't close the bun.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
So if you tell them everything, then they'll be like, okay, then they're gonna start putting appropriate amounts in there, so you're not gonna have like a big old mess while you're trying to drive down the road. So I tell her, so I'm like, okay, get me the sandwich. And so then I always show up and I always get a couple things from Taco Bell too
Yeah.
for me. So I
Nice.
get to have both. Uh, but yeah,
Honestly, I used to like Subway a lot, but I had a salad there once and it kind of ruined it for me. The salad I
mm,
had, the lettuce was like the worst lettuce I've ever had in my life. Um,
really?
I
Oh,
think
was it slimy, soggy stuff
it
or?
wasn't terribly slimy. It might have been frozen for a second and then unfrozen, but
Oh,
you know how that
yeah,
goes.
yeah. So then it
All
gets
the
like
flavor was gone. It was
clear.
flavorless. It
Okay.
was slightly clear and it was shredded into thin strips, not like what you would expect on a salad because it was designed for a sub. And it didn't have the right flavor at all. And it just was like, I couldn't even, like, it's the first time in my life I didn't like a salad. And so to me, I don't know, that kind of ruined it for me. I'm like, I'm not a big
Yeah,
fan of Subway
th-
anymore because
that
I
would
just like,
wreck it for me too.
the lettuce is, I don't know. Lettuce is important to me. I love lettuce. So when it's that bad, it
Hmm.
really turns me off on it, you know?
You know what's
But
amazing
someone
is
said in here they like Jack in the Box. Have you ever been to a Jack in the Box?
I have not been to a Jack in the Box. I've never
I went to
even
a Sonic
seen a
once, but I've never
Jack
been to
in
a
the
Jack in the Box.
Box because
Really?
we're from
Oh,
up
we
in
had them out in
Michigan.
Colorado.
Did you have them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in
Yeah, but I never
Michigan
stopped
we.
at one.
But see, you guys don't have Fago or Furs.
Yeah. Or Verner's. Right?
You guys have White
Um
Castle?
actually Verner's actually did expand. Or Fago. One of the two. White Castle. Nice. My
That's
mom's
some
favorite would
fast
probably be
food
White
right
Castle. White
there.
Castle is great.
White Castle
Uh-huh.
is so good.
White
So
Castle is good. Those sliders are fantastic.
man, you can eat like
Hmm.
a dozen of them. And then
Yeah.
later you're like, why did I do
Why did I
that?
do that? You're
And
like,
like
where's
they
all my
have
energy? What happened?
right, yeah.
Yeah, if you've eaten there, you know what I'm talking about.
That's so true.
You're like,
You
why do
eat a
I
bunch of
feel
them
so
White Castles,
awful?
and then you're just like, I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, it's good, but
It
it's
is.
bad. A lot of people say they give them the toots, you know, too.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's another bad thing on top of it. But White Castle's pretty great.
Yep. It is. I've seen Eagle Boys Pizza. I've never heard of that before. Um,
Eagle Boys Pizza?
Eagle
Huh.
Boys Pizza. And then Moonlight Star,
If
like
they
you said, Jack in the
fast
Box.
food pizza.
Is Jack in the Box, what do they have there? Is that like a burger place?
Yeah. It's a burger and fry place. Oh, Eagle
Okay.
Boys isn't Aussie. That's probably why we've never heard of it.
It's oh, it's
What kind
Australian.
of so they like fast food pizza? That'd probably be good. I mean, not as good as a home like a real cooked pizza, but I mean, fast food is fine. That's what Fazoli has. Fazoli's has some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Zaxby's. Zaxby's. I've heard of Zaxby's. Never seen one though. Have you
Did you
guys
say
ever
you've
heard of
been
a
to a
Carl's
Sonic?
Jr.? Yeah, I've been to a
No.
Sonic once.
Did you do the drive up?
I was at it. Oh yeah, Culver's. Well, you see, Princess is from Wisconsin, so she's gonna say Culver's.
Culver's is great.
Culver's is good.
Butter burgers. Butter burgers.
Yep.
Just think about that and how good that sounds. Butter burger.
Butter burgers.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't care for really much on their menu, but their butter burgers are good. Like
That's
if you go to, if
that's
you think
like
about
half their
fries,
menu.
like you can get fries that are better from other places. Personally, if you think about a lot of the stuff on the menu, it's like okay, give or take, some things are good, but the butter burgers are actually really good. I will have to definitely say that they're good.
Mm-hmm. Because I think they put butter on them. I think they cook them with butter.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, butter burgers, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which make
yeah,
and butter makes everything better, even coffee.
yes, that's a true statement. Well, depending on your taste, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes you
there's nothing on their menu
snowboard
to
better
me
too.
other than burgers and custard, Princess Yellow says.
Oh,
Yes.
custard. That's right. They do serve custard there. Their custard's good. I I was excited that they had those cheese curds, but I felt like I've had better ones. You know, I've had better cheese curds. Not cheese curds, but the cheese and the what do you call those? Deep fried cheese with breading on them.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese sticks.
Yeah.
But
Mozzarella sticks.
like I said, you can't top the jalapeno poppers at Arby's. Those are so good if you're gonna go for like a deep fried
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Hey,
See, now we're
Turtle.
getting
Carl's.
yes.
Yes. And Turtle knows Carl's Jr. equals Hardee's. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hardee's is good.
Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. See, now we're getting it.
See,
See, all
Turtle
right.
Dude is someone he's a trucker, so he's been around. He's been to all the places probably.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the guy to go to for this.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting in Lansing, the city where I work. Most of my inspections jobs are done in Lansing, and there's this place. It's right down. You're starting to get into like the hood, right? And you got this like fast food row of places. I mean, you've got an Arby's, a McDonald's, a Burger King, and a liquor store on one side of the road. On the other side of the road, you have a combination KFC and Long John Silver's, right? Because they somehow figured out how to put those two together. And for those of you, Long John Silver's is also up toward the top of my list.
Oh
I really
yes.
like Long John Silver's.
Yes. Long John Silver's is great.
So you got a KFC.
It's much better than like a McDonald's or something for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
KFC.
You got a KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Chicken, fast food chicken. And then like 5 buildings down, you've got a Popeyes. And in between the two of those, you got another chicken place.
Crack chicken?
Crack chicken.
Crack chicken.
Crack chicken. Like, seriously. Like, and I've never tried it. But I've spoken to many, many, many people who I respect their opinions of. And they're like, you've never had crack chicken? There's a reason they call it crack chicken. Like,
That's so funny.
it is addictive. Like, it is so good. They're like, it is so good. Crack chicken is the best. And apparently it originated, it's funny, no, crack. CRACK. Like you're gonna go have some crack. Crack chicken.
Yeah. Crack chicken.
And
I like that you try to
apparently
keep
it's
it,
so good. What?
I like that Princess tried to interpret it as cracked conch, like cracked, to make it sound not so bad. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
literally crack, like the drug
it's
crack
it's
chicken, and
crack
it's
chicken.
designed to be that way.
Yep.
I've never had it, but
Yep. I'm gonna try it one of these days. I always
one of
drive
these
by
days.
it, and there's another place that has it too. I actually the owner of these restaurants is East Side Fish Fry is one of these places where they're like, hey, you buy it, we fry it, and it was a way they could get around the whole EBT, the food stamp laws or whatever.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
use your bridge card at a restaurant, but you can buy groceries
Right.
with it. And so they're like, "Hey, we're a fish
Right.
market, and then we will prepare it for you." So then they just increase their customer base by calling themselves a fish market, and then but so then, you know, they started to blur those lines a little bit. I don't know how it all ended up working out for them, but I took martial
Yeah.
arts classes with these guys, like with the
Oh,
owner. Like he and his
that's cool.
kids were at a martial arts studio, and he donated all these like gift cards and everything. And yeah, they were all saying, "Oh man, crack chicken is the best." Anyway, that's my
That's
crack
cool.
chicken story.
Nice. By the way, guys, Joe and I like never eat fast food. It isn't healthy for you. We would not recommend it. It doesn't belong in anybody's diet. Um,
Mm.
it's basically if I'm hungry, I'll just wait. For me, I tend not to
Yeah.
eat fast food unless it's bought for me. If someone
Hmm.
else buys it, then I'll eat it, but I never buy it myself. If I go to a fast food place, I only order a drink generally, just because I know that if I eat at any fast food place, like later in the day, I'm gonna regret it. I'm just gonna feel
It's
like all my energy's gone and stuff like that.
true
So
story. It's very,
yeah,
very true. It lasts for like a little while. I actually the other day,
and
like
then it lasts in your stomach forever.
it does. It hurts like painfully. I remember after I got done with my 60-day I had a 60-day workout program, and I was, and when I got done with that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat some fast food because I hadn't eaten fast food and probably I hadn't been to a McDonald's in like a year and a half probably.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I went through there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some McDonald's food. And man, that wasn't a good idea for me.
Yeah, like I said, the taste doesn't justify how bad it is for you.
Hmm.
It's not
Well,
that good.
even still, it
It's
was like really, really salty. I don't
mm.
remember it being that salty tasting. Like
Oh,
everything
okay.
was really tasted like
Yeah.
way extra salty. Like I got a McChicken, a McDouble, and a four-piece chicken McSponges. Uh,
I've I don't eat those sponges anymore. Um, I had one for the first time in like it was probably like first time in 20 25 years
oh wow.
something. And this was like a few years ago. It was like the first time I had one in like 20 years probably. And I took a bite of it and I was like, "No. Why the kids are eating these? What? No. These aren't even first of all, they're not even tasty. Second of all, what is this?" It was like I'm eating just straight up chicken cartilage. That's kind of what it tastes like. Nothing but a bunch of chicken cartilage. Like the chicken flavor, it was chicken cartilage fused in grease and chicken oil,
That sounds glorious.
but it was just chicken cartilage. Like I could, like it literally didn't taste right. It didn't taste right at all. And I was like,
Okay.
I can't eat any of these. And when you bite into it and you look at the texture of it and you're like, that's not even meat. It's not stringy.
Is that
It's
chicken?
processed to no end. I don't know. I am not a fan of chicken nuggets, but I will order chicken strips. I love chicken strips.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Those are good.
Those are good.
Yeah, it is disgusting. I was like, I don't know how people can eat these.
Yes. Well, hey, welcome, Black Eye Fat Lip.
Hey, hey.
It's been a while. I think probably you might have been expecting Don't Worry Wednesday or Don't Fret Friday. This is Free for All Friday. We started this new show a few weeks ago where we just kind of we talk about random
We
stuff.
chill and
Like
enjoy
we
ourselves. Yeah.
solve we solve all your problems.
Hmm.
Like
Especially when
here's
it
a
comes
question.
between two things.
Yes, between two things. So have we? Somebody asked something. I think.
Oh yeah. Did they give us an or? Guys,
Maybe.
feel free to ask us an or.
Yeah. If you got something like we've been going through either ors. We got. Did we ever decide rolls versus biscuits? You didn't have a. You didn't have
Yeah, I didn't have a
a
good answer to that.
preference on that one, did you?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
You'll have to find something we have a different preference on. Difference of preference.
Riot. This is a free for all. Riot. Yeah.
Riot.
Books or comics? Ah, Black Eye Fat Lip. Interesting. Personally, well,
I'm
is a
gonna go.
graphic novel is a graphic novel a comic or a book? Because it's in book shape.
It's in book shape, book form. Does it read like a book or does it read like a comic?
Reads like a comic.
Then
Technically
it's
a
a
comic.
comic.
All right. All right. So personally, I would say books. I've read lots of them.
I don't read much, other than people's comments and chats and things like that. I'll read articles and stuff like that. But the last time I picked up a book was a long time ago, other than the Criminal Idol book,
Yeah.
which is
Which, by the
fantastic.
way, it is. This is kind of a combination of the two. So this kind of bridges the gap between comic and book because it's a book, right?
But
Shameless
it's
plug.
packed. Yes, it's packed pictures.
It's got lots and lots of pictures, lots and lots of words,
Whoa, look at that.
and it's 20% off right now at the store if you type in the coupon code Inktober at checkout.
Is that all in caps?
Yep, all in capital letters. Shameless plug. Yes, 20% off. Get the book is great. It's huge. But and Black Eye, we did not set you up to just plug the book.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity.
Yeah, why not? Honestly, I'm gonna go with books over comics myself as well. I was never able to get into comics. I've been able to get into some books. Generally not storybooks. I prefer books that have stories, but there's an intentional like message to the book, or there's a meaning, or there's a point in reading it that's like I'm gaining information from this. It's not just a form of entertainment. I like books that are entertainment while you're trying to get information out of it. So a textbook, that's boring. I don't care for it. But like if you read like a really good um like self-help book that's actually just a fun story or a series of stories, that's cool. I enjoy that. Even though it's like, yeah, self-help can be kind of cheesy, a lot of times you'll find they're actually really, really enjoyable to read, really entertaining. And the thing that I like about them most is that they're so relatable because the people that are writing them to relate to you intentionally, to kind of talk about issues that you probably have, and the issues they've had, rather than a story which might not relate to you at all, depending on, you might pick up a novel and you start reading it and you're like, this is a completely different person to me. I don't have anything in common with this person. And it just worlds apart, you know? So I really I actually like self-help books, even though I don't read much.
That's all right. I prefer books as
Yeah.
well. Now, interestingly enough, my oldest son, he loves making comics.
Ah,
Now he's a sixth grader and he
comics are
makes
fun to make.
comics. Oh yeah, he's fun. And it's amazing. Like this kid will sit there and he's all about interactions between people. Let me explain. So I have my youngest son, you buy him a Lego set, right? And he builds the Lego set.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then he, lets it sit there and then he takes it apart and keeps the pieces together, or we help him keep the pieces together. So then he can build it again and then he'll build it again, right?
Huh.
So
Okay.
he likes to build the Lego set.
Interesting.
My oldest son, he will build the Lego set and then he takes all the people and he gathers them all up and he makes different people with all the different heads and the different bodies and the different legs, and he makes his own new characters and everything like that, right? But then he
Mm-hmm.
treats all of his Lego people as action figures. So like
That's
he
cool.
will, yeah, so like he comes up with stories, different battles and all kinds of different stuff, what's going on with all these people, you know, and all of his Lego dudes. Like, and so when you get him a Lego set, it's like, okay, he's going to be focused on the people,
Mm-hmm. That's
and
cool.
not necessarily building the kit. And he does that, like, so he can come up with stories and characters and all this kind of stuff, just like amazing. Now
That's so cool.
his art style is kind of reminiscent, I think, in along the lines of like a Dave Pilkey. Did you ever see like Captain Underpants or
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, got it.
stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, where it's really quickly drawn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Criminal Idol stuff, and you look
Oh,
at
there's
the
hours.
level of detail that's
Yeah.
in all of that stuff. It's like, I mean, that's amazingly huge, and so his drawings are not as detailed, but the stories are compelling,
That's cool.
and so it's like, it's so fun to read, partly because he's my son.
Yeah, of course. But yeah.
But yeah, comics is cool, and I'm impressed, and
Yeah.
I came across, you can tell a lot through a story, and you can.
Yeah, you can tell a lot about a person through their stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. And then you look at some of my favorite movies are the Marvel movies, and those are all
Mm-hmm.
derived from comics.
Yeah.
Comics from
Yeah. Honestly, I think that comics tend to have more fun stories.
hmm
Um, but I get less out of them, and that's why I tend to would favor books. But I do enjoy comics. I enjoy manga. The program which I made a lot of my videos with is actually something called Motion Artist, and it's designed to make comic movies
Mm.
where you have strips and it goes into the strip and then it's animated and then it comes out of the strip and it goes into the next strip, things like
Oh,
that. And it's
interesting.
designed to have the ability to make speech bubbles and all these kind of things that are related to comic books. And I was like, this is cool because I'm probably one of the only people using this video editor for this kind of style of video, but it was fun. Um, Two things I wanted to say was one, I want to get back to this. Black Eye Fat Lip said Chronicles of Narnia or Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna have to say Lord of the Rings too, but that's because I'm biased towards the creator. Although both people were incredible people.
Now, if we're going by author, I prefer C.S. Lewis
C.S.
in
Lewis did a
his
lot.
other works.
Yes, his other works were phenomenal, and even Narnia was
Hmm.
great.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, C.S. Lewis is a fantastic, incredible
Hmm.
person.
The Great Divorce by
But
C.S. Lewis is one of my favorite books of all time.
who wrote? I don't think it was C.S. Lewis. Who wrote Dante's Inferno?
Dante.
Dante, right? Yeah, yeah. He's
That was
another one.
written
I
in like
think,
the 1300s.
yeah, old school. But that's a book that stood its time.
Hmm.
Um, that's impressive. Not where you create your own world, right? And it's not like yeah, you create your world based off the world we live in. But Dante did that as well.
Hmm.
And it's a beautiful thing because that's what you
Hmm.
see in Narnia. That's what you see in Lord of the Rings. It's so cool.
Hmm.
Um, but the other thing I wanted to say on the topic of comics was uh oh geez, now I can't remember what it was. It was comic first book. You're telling me about your son. Oh, Legos.
Hmm.
Me and my brother and a neighbor of ours, we used to get together in my house in my basement, and we had a huge basement. And we would put down these pile of Legos, all of the Legos that we had, and you had each person grab out Legos to an equal amount. So, hey, everyone grab out like 100 pieces, 100 Legos, maybe something like that. And I might be telling the story slightly wrong because it was a long time ago, but everyone grab out a certain amount of pieces. So we all grab out piles of pieces. And then we'd all go into a different corner of the basement. And then you would build your base there. And so you'd find like a shelf or a table, or maybe you'd find a floor with like, walls next to it. So you're like, yeah, this is a good base. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have like 30 minutes to create your army. That includes building like spaceships, that includes building and setting up all your guys, determining what powers each character has, and everything.
Whoa.
And then you'd go to war. And so you'd go to war with
Whoa.
your other neighboring tribes. And when you would go to war to them with them, you would I think you would seize their pieces. So you would, if you won a battle, you would actually take their stuff. But what was interesting was because it was actually a battle more so of the mind and your creativity, um, with justifications and limits on yourself, because you can't go, oh yeah, this thing can do all this crazy stuff. Like it's like a cube. I created a cube, but this cube can shoot laser beams, and it's also invincible. Um, you know, you had to put limits on things, and you had to look at it and be like, oh yeah, that actually looks like it could do those things.
Now you had a time limit to come up with all this stuff, right? And then it
Yeah,
was set,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
like
and then it was
you
set.
couldn't be like, and then somebody be like, they'd shoot you, and you'd be like, actually, this actually has a defensive system against just that type of thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know? Like,
Yeah, and then you would go back and you would like at certain points you would return to your base and build stuff back up, or redesign things and so on based on how everything was going. But it was really cool. And yeah, you could get like you could, if I remember correctly, like if before someone else was done building, you could try to run to their base real quick and like steal some of their stuff because they're not ready yet. And
mm,
so, but you're in their base, so they have more defenses and stuff like that prepared. So
mhm.
it was risky, but you could maybe get away with it. But yeah, it was pretty creative. We had a lot of fun. We did that for hours and hours and hours, multiple days. We would have these like wars that would last like, I don't know, like weeks. It was cool.
That's cool. That's
Uh,
cool. I'm always very impressed when people can take Legos and build their own creations with them because I have always been, when I get a Lego kit, I follow the instructions. I'm like Emmett
oh,
from Lego Movie,
uh-huh.
right? Like
That's how I feel now.
the
I
instructions.
feel
Like
like that
I'm
now when
always
you
like I
give me
follow
Legos,
the
I'm just like,
instructions.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then there's like you see all the like the wild style and the all the other the master builders where they just like find pieces and they make all these crazy cool stuff, you know. Like
Yeah.
I would build the double decker couch, you know, like
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Emmett too. Like my adult self is like Emmett, where my child self was more like Wild Style and Batman and all of them.
yeah, I
Um,
was I was never like that.
uh,
I always was terrible. Like I'd try and make up stuff and it would always look dumb and I'd be like, well, that doesn't look cool at all, you know. And so
have a
then
good one, Period.
see you later.
Love you.
Oh wait. Oh, okay, gotcha. And Seft is taking off too. We're actually to the point.
Yeah,
We're
we're
almost to
gonna
that
close it down.
hour long point. So yeah, we've been keeping this show at about an hour long. So we're gonna jump off here pretty soon too. But Princess Yellow made a hot tub, a
You made a
Lego
Lego hot tub.
tub.
See, now that's a good use of your time. I like it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Lincoln Logs. Did you play with those?
Yes,
I would say Legos versus Lincoln Logs.
yes.
But it's kind of obvious which one wins there.
Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs. Yeah. They're made out of wood. They deteriorate over time. Um,
Like
Obvious
your
choice, Lincoln
dog
Logs.
gets a hold of them.
You you have permanent teeth marks in them. You can have those in your Legos too, though. We had a
Yeah,
kid.
that's
We had a
true.
child get a hold of our Legos and chew them, into like chunks of like just teeth holes in it. It was weird, but it happens to your Legos.
Hmm. Legos are more painful to step on
Yeah, they are actually.
barefoot. When you
The Lincoln barefoot in the
barefoot
Logs, you
middle of
put
the
it together and it's like super fragile. You can knock it over on accident. Legos, you don't have that problem as much. So Lincoln Logs, of course.
Lincoln Logs are way better.
Lincoln Logs, you can build. Okay, so here's the thing: Lincoln Logs, you can build houses.
You can build a barn.
You can build a barn. You can build a tower. So you can build buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Legos, you can build anything. So obviously Lincoln Logs. Um, duh.
Oh man, that's great. Well, I tell you what, guys. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. This has been so fun. I really like this free for all Friday stuff. And if you guys think of anything, we still haven't made a posted topic. I'm gonna have to get with Jesse and figure out how we put a area on the website for this so people can, post
Mm.
if they want to hear anything, if they want to know anything. And really, there's nothing off the table. If you like, somebody asked before, how did you guys meet? If you
Mhm.
have questions about, just what Black Static and Swerve is about, just, if there's something that you're curious about in our history, if there's something you're curious about in what our plans for the future are, obviously we're not going to, disclose everything, but, like if there's anything you guys want to know,
Mhm.
that's going to be the place to put it. And we'll talk about it here on Friday. So
Yeah.
it is fun to, go through the verses stuff. And so one
It's
last one.
unfortunate because Joe and I agree on so many things. It's
We
hard to
do.
find things that we disagree on.
We do. We do. It's tough. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There are a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next time for when we talk about summer versus winter.
I much prefer summer.
We still haven't talked about hamburgers versus tacos, but we did talk about fast food.
Oh yeah, we got what? Sorry, it's actually hot dogs versus tacos because those
What's that?
are hot. Yeah, hot dogs versus tacos because you look at them, they both
Oh,
come in the same kind of thing. No,
right.
hamburgers versus tacos, I think would be a better one. I think if you did hamburgers or hot dogs, if you did hot dogs versus hamburgers, I think a lot of times hamburgers would win for most people. But
Mm.
hamburgers versus tacos, now that's completely up in the air. I think that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And you have to think, what kind of taco are we talking about? Are we talking about the taco that has the dry corn shell, like a Taco Bell
I
taco?
think you have to include all of them because then you can include all the different kind of burgers that are out there, like blue cheeseburger versus
Oh
your
yeah, yeah,
classic
yeah.
cheeseburger, um, or
Yep,
your
my
salmon
favorite.
burger, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You can do a chicken burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep, with a lettuce bun
oh,
near the
lettuce buns versus bread buns.
bread bun. I'd say lettuce bun.
I actually like lettuce buns a lot.
Those are very
Um,
good.
those are good, but it's funny because I also like bread a lot, but I prefer a lettuce bun because those are just great.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jimmy John's has a sandwich, the Unwich.
Which I haven't had
Mm-hmm.
it.
It's very
Sounds good
good.
though.
It's their sub sandwich, but it's lettuce instead of bread.
Nice.
Yep, it's wonderful. So, yes. See, I'm with you, Black Eye Fat Lip. I'm a winter boy. I like not melting. Unfortunately, there's a social limit to the amount of clothes you cannot wear. You can wear tons of layers in the winter if it gets too cold. Those are all my arguments.
Okay, we can talk
Ryan's
about
like,
that next time.
but it's cold. That's the
We can talk
problem.
about that next time, but I summer, yes, summer 100% every time. No matter how
Yeah.
much you argue, you can't take off too many layers of clothes and you get hot. I don't care. I'd rather be hot than cold. I'd rather be hot than surrounded in 50 layers of. I'm even in the summer. I have blankets on me. I'm
Yeah,
always
wait.
cold. So
Wave Slayer, you can go to the beach when it's cold. In fact, I have an experience that I'll tell next weekend
you
or
can
next
ski when
next
it's cold.
Friday.
You can. Sorry, you can ice skate if you can go to the lake and ice skate.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ice skating is one of my
You
favorite
can
activities. I
you
just
can
don't like being
swim.
cold.
You've seen the Polar Bear Club, people?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you gonna share that story? Okay. Okay. I'm excited. I know what story you're talking about. All right. But yeah, I think we'll have to save that for next time. Summer
Yeah.
versus winter. I like it.
So you guys are awesome. We'll see you next time. Come back Monday. We're planning on doing double cup of Joe. I know this past week we did not. Joe's life, Joe Mohan's life is up in the air. He's moving, he's selling one house, looking to buy another one. There's all kinds of craziness going on. But
Getting new jobs and all that kind of stuff.
yep, but we're gonna staple his behind to a chair and get him
Yeah.
on this camera
We're
because
gonna make him wear
that would be
pants, and then
awesome.
we're gonna staple the pants to the chair so he can't get out.
Yeah, Black Eye Fat likes my shirt. The periodic
Oh,
table of Minecraft. It's all the Minecraft elements
nice.
from I think it's like the original though.
I didn't even. That's pretty great. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it's cool. But anyway, we will see you guys. Yes, it's from the beta. You're right.
Mm,
Even says beta.
wow.
But
Cool. Well, have an
yeah,
awesome life, you guys. Thanks for
yep.
joining us. We hope you had a good time. We had a good time, and we'll see you next time.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and so you'll know when we're live. We go live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Also, be sure to check out the store, bss.studio. Go to the store. Inktober. Get the book for 20% off. Free shipping in the
Yeah.
United States, $10 shipping anywhere else in the world. Yes. You
Good
guys are
burger.
amazing. Good burger.
All right.
Nice.
Good burger.
We'll
I
see you
mean,
guys next
goodbye.
time.
Oops. Bye bye.
Bye.